So this is the Malaguena from the Parkening book, page 92. There are a couple of points that we want to emphasize in your practice on this one. The first point is that the treble echoes as we're playing this. We don't want to have that really loud and snappy. We want that to be background, accompanying the melody and the bass. The melody and the bass is the important part. And we also don't want to be stopping these sounds early, so we don't want that. We want them to ring.
That you do with the right hand, right?
Which we do, well, you play it with the right hand, of course, but you don't stop it with the right hand or the left hand.
Yeah.
What the tendency is sometimes to mute it, either by preparing, putting the fingers down early, or by doing something with the left hand that stops it. So we just need to be aware of it. And the way that you fix this is you have to listen as you're playing. Listen carefully and try to make it sound beautiful. It's really the only advice. This is why it takes a while, because you have to train your ear to spot things that break the legato sound. Okay, so now we'll play maybe we'll just do each section and then talk about each. So here's the first section. Just say you could also play this with a rasgueado, which is a technique you should learn at some point. Just strum with the fingers, but we'll do it with the thumb. The second part. Kind of a hash of that. I don't think I've heard this before. As before, we want to make sure that the treble notes continue to ring, so we don't want, in this second group here, we want to have all of those notes standing rather than so make sure that they're all ringing out.
You also said the bass notes should be the melody notes, right?
Right, the bass is carrying the melody. So that doesn't necessarily mean you want to make it extra loud, but you have to, that's the legato part. That's the part where we want to hear this. So it can be played softly. We want it to sound like a melody as opposed to... Right. Let me just play that second part again. third part We want to make sure that the melody is legato and the accompaniment notes are harp-like and ringing in the background. In this second part, one thing that you can do to help bring out the melody, there are two things. One is to slow down a little bit. You can play this a little more slowly than the earlier part. And another thing is, a lot of these sections you can use a rest stroke on the melody notes. So this. As opposed to free stroke. The free stroke tends to be a little more brittle. Now, through your practice, you should be able to make them sound equally good, but it will help you to bring out the melody. Okay, now the fourth section. The last section, you basically played this well, and you have a better handle on how to keep that legato sound. I do recommend, despite the fact that you want to play with P and M only in the D section, I recommend P, M, P, I, P, M, P, I. Will give a more regular feel.